Hello everyone, this is Whitebox here with another exciting game of Spirit Island. This is going to be another true solo game. Well, not true solo. This is going to be another two-handed solo game. And as promised, I'm going to be trying some of these aspects from Jagged Earth that I have not yet played. One from the promo pack, actually. So, promo pack 2 and Jagged Earth. So let me go ahead and read out what each of these does, just because I know can't really see them on the camera here. So first I'm going to be playing Pandemonium Lightning Swift Strike. Pandemonium replaces Thundering Destruction, and it replaces it with Lightning Torn Skies Incite Pandemonium. I get to do a slow power, one range from a Sacred Site, and instead of destroying towns and cities, it adds a lot of fear and strife, which could come in handy against this adversary. And then pairing with that, I'm going to be playing Foreboding Shadows, another one I haven't played before. Foreboding Shadows replaces the Shadows of the Han special rule, and I get stretch out Coils of Foreboding Dread. If I have, it's 2 range, fast power, targets any land. If I have 2 air, my other powers may ignore range when targeting the target land. For 1 moon, after an action generates fear in target land, including from destroying towns and cities, push up to 1 explorer per fear or 1 town per 2 fear. So that's pretty good. And then if I have 2 fire, I get 1 fear. And then I can also get 2 moon and 4 air to get an additional 2 fear. So pretty good. And I still get Darkness Swallows the Unwary, so just more versatility for powers with Foreboding. So I've never played either of these aspects. I actually played Wind Lightning as my last kind of board game with a group of people, and that was super fun, so hopefully Pandemonium is just as good. And I'm going to be playing against the Kingdom of Sweden level 6. I think it's the first level 6 adversary that I've played on video here. I have been doing a lot of the Steam version of this game, so I've beaten level 6 Sweden a few times with a couple different spirits, but this will be my first time doing it on one of these videos. So if we enjoy that, hopefully I can win. I think win or lose, it's going to be a quick game. Sweden tends to be. So I'll just go through all the effects for Sweden up through 6. So their stage 2 escalation is swayed by the invaders. After the invaders explore into each land this phase, if that land has at least as many invaders as Dahan, replace 1 Dahan with 1 town. Very annoying power. Heavy mining, if the invaders do at least 6 damage to the land during Ravage, add an extra blight. The additional blight does not destroy presence or cause cascades. Level 2 is population pressure at home. During setup on each board, add 1 city to land number 4, which I've done. On boards where land number 4 starts with blight, put that blight in land 5 instead. So move that blight into land 5. Find steel for tools and guns. Towns deal 3 damage, cities deal 5 damage. That's the kind of big change about Sweden, is that their buildings do more damage. Fortunately, I have Strife, and Strife negates damage. So hopefully I'll be able to use that and just control them well enough to avoid any ravages. Royal Backing is the level 4 ability. During setup, after adding all other invaders, discard the top card of the invader deck, and on each board, add 1 town to the land of that terrain with the fewest invaders. I've done that already. The land that I discarded was wetlands, so I've added a town to each of these wetlands. Mining Rush is level 5. When ravaging, adds at least 1 blight to a land. Also add 1 town to an adjacent land without towns and cities. Cascading Blight does not cause this effect. So Sweden, pretty easy to break their build, kind of explore, build, ravage cycle. They start with a lot of stuff on the board, so that's one way they get around it. This is kind of the other way, is that they can get cities, or get towns rather, from ravages. And then Prospecting Outpost is the final ability. During setup on each board, add 1 town and 1 blight to land 8. So I've done that on each board. And that blight additionally comes from the box, not from the blight card. So I think I'm good to get started. My initial explore was in mountains, so I'm going to go ahead and see if I can stop stuff from happening, bad things. Mountains, pretty good. Probably maybe the best one here for me. So I am okay with that. With shadows, I'm going to go ahead and add 3 presents, or add 3 presents, that would be nice. Add a presence at 3 range and gain 3 energy. and go from bottom track, pretty standard shadows opening, and I want to go into this land. And with shadows, with that 3 energy, I'm going to go ahead and play Crops Wither and Fade, as well as Favors Called Due. So those will be my 2 shadow plays this turn. And I'll pay for each of those. Shadows pretty standard for their openings. You're either going to play Crops Wither and Fade and Favors Called Due, or Mantle of Dread and Favors Called Due, one of those combinations. I'm going with this one. And as far as Lightning Swift Strike goes, I'm going to go ahead and do the very standard Lightning opening of no card plays first turn. Just go from top for 2 so I can get the 2 energy. And let's see, where do I want to go? If I go in here, that gives me access to both those mountains. So I think I'll go down to land number 1. I'm playing with board E and C. Could be a little swingy. There's no coastal wetlands, and the wetlands are the ones that got those initial blights and extra towns, so we'll see how that goes. Fortunately, I think getting the royal backing wetlands is okay, because it means they won't explore with that. So like I said, going no energy with or no card plays with the lightning. I'll go ahead and just gain my 2 energy. And I'm going to use these blue tokens here as markers, so you can see which growth option I've taken. So growth 2 with lightning, growth 3 with shadows, pretty standard stuff, nothing weird so far. Then I'm going to go into the fast phase, and I have a couple things with shadows. So with shadows, first up, I'm going to use Foreboding, and I will use these tokens to mark this. So Foreboding is going into land 7 here. And right now it's not going to do anything. I don't have 2 air, but I do have 1 moon, actually 2. So after an action generates fear in that land, including from destroying towns and cities, I can push up to 1 explorer per fear, or 1 town per 2 fear. So that's going to be good to clear that land out and avoid the ravage there. So nothing right now, but it'll come into play in the slow phase. And then I do have Darkness Swallows the Unwary. I'm going to go ahead and gather this guy into this land here. And that's going to break that explore build cycle for Sweden. So that's going to be my turn with shadows. I go into the invader phase, flip an event just to keep my timing down, and then I go straight into the invaders. So they're going to go ahead and build in mountains. So they will get a city over here in land number 7. Town here in land number 5. And they will just lose that marker in land number 2. Nothing bad so far. And then they'll explore in sands. I think I'm okay with that. It can be a little tricky, but that's alright. So I've got all of my presents with lightning, so I have to be a little bit careful because of that. Okay, that's that. And then I go into the slow phase. So with slow phase, again, no card plays with lightning this turn, so it's all shadows. First up with shadows, I'm going to use Crops Wither and Fade here. I'm going to replace that city with a town. It also generates 2 fear, and with that 2 fear, I can go ahead and push. And I'll push this. Let's keep it away from the sands and keep it away from that. I'll just push it into this jungle. And then I'm also going to use Favors Called Due there, so I can gather up to 4 Dahan. Let me get my 2 fear. So I'm gathering 3 Dahan. If invaders are present in Dahan now outnumber them, 3 fear. So I get 3 fear. And with that 3 fear, I can go ahead and push these out. I'll keep the explorer there. I think that's fine. But I'll push that town into that land. Maybe not good to stack that all up, but I don't really want to push it into the wetlands or the sands. So that's where it's going. So that's that. Pretty good. I think that's fine. So now I'm not going to have to worry about Ravages and Shadows board, and I think I'll be good on Lightning's board as well. So that's that. I go ahead and discard those cards. And then I can go back to a reclaim. So for these guys now, I'm going to do Growth 2 again with Lightning. Again, pretty standard opening. And I'll go ahead and start moving up towards Shadow's board. And just so I can influence stuff there. Let's go into this jungle. Getting a little crowded there, but that puts me in range of both of those sands. And I'll finish out lightning stuff before I move on to shadows. So let me get my 2 energy for presence. And then I'll see if I can stop both these ravages. Should be no problem. So I'm going to play Shatter Homesteads as one ability. Lightning's Boon as another. And then Harbingers of the Lightning as my final play. Let me see if I can get it so that all of these show up. There we go. So that costs me 3. Alright. And Harbinger's Lightning's Boon is really the only synergy between these two spirits, aside from the fact that they're going to generate a lot of fear, and Sweden doesn't have a lot of fear cards to burn through. So I'll see if I can do anything with that. Mantle of Dread's okay, but I don't know that I'll need it in the fast phase. So yeah, I should be able to stop a couple things from happening right away. Yeah, I think I'll be good. So let's go ahead and do I think I need the 3 energy again. And do I want to go down to 3 card plays? It'll be nice when I do the reclaim cycle, as long as I can get a cheap miner. But I'm only going to have 3 energy out of that. I think that's probably okay. Yeah, let's do it. So I'm going to go for 3 energy. And add a presence with growth 3 once again. Never sure with shadows whether it's better to get that power card early, but I think it's okay. And then as far as what I want to do, I want to use Mantle of Dread in that land or another, but I'll be able to push stuff out. With fear. But I don't need to be there for that, which is nice. Okay, let's see. I think I'll probably start moving towards the other board. I've got 3 range, so sure, why not? I'll go ahead and move over to this jungle. Start moving over there. And I will play Mantle of Dread and Concealing Shadows. Okay, so card place chosen. I'm going to go straight into the fast phase. Let me resolve Shadows first. So Shadows have got a bunch of fast powers. Mantle of Dread is going to be used on Lightning in the slow phase. I don't need it fast. So what I'm going to do instead is, and I can't really do anything about land number 2. I'll deal with that later. So what I'm going to do is use Foreboding. Since I have 2 air, I can target this land here, and it means that my other powers may ignore range when targeting that target land. And I'm going to use Concealing Shadows here, because I don't need to use it anywhere else. Gets me 1 fear. Dahan take no damage from Ravaging Invaders this turn. It doesn't matter. And then, because I generated a fear there, I can go ahead and push 1 Explorer per fear. And I'll throw that into this wetland. And then I also have Darkness Swallows the Unwary. I'm going to go ahead and target this land and gather that Explorer. Now I've stopped 2 builds from Sweden with Shadows. Already Foreboding is proving to be much, much stronger than any of the than base Shadows for sure. Okay. So now I'm moving over to Lightning Swift Strike. I'm going to go ahead and use Lightning's Boon on myself. It doesn't really matter. I'm mostly playing it for the elements. So I'm going to use Shatter Homesteads on this land here. Destroy that town and get a Fear, which gets me my first Fear card. And then I'm going to use Harbingers of the Lightning. Maybe. I'm not sure where I want to do that just yet. So instead, let me use Pandemonium first. So Pandemonium, I have 3 fire and 2 air, so I have the first level. I can do 2 fear and add 1 strife. And that strife is going in this land. So land number 2, city gets a strife. And then I also have Harbingers of the Lightning, and that's going to be good because I can go ahead and push these 2 Dahan in here, generate a fear, and they'll be able to kill that city after the Ravage, assuming I don't get any event that avoids strife cards, which would be bad. So let's go ahead and move into the invader phase. So events. And that does seem like the potential weakness of Pandemonium is events, because you could get totally screwed by that. There we go. Civic Engagement. On each board, remove 1 strife. If you can't, invaders do +1 damage per land when ravaging in lands with towns and cities. So I will go ahead and remove that strife there, and I'm already off to a terrible start. Casualties of Fang and Sting. Destroy 1 explorer or town in a land with a beast. Or town. Okay. Destroy that. And get a fear. And then keep far from lands of plague. On each board, push 3 Dahan from lands with plagues, 2 lands without plagues. Doesn't matter. So that was bad. Let's see if this fear card saves me. Probably not. Dahan Raid. Each player chooses a different land with Dahan. 1 damage there. Okay. Well, that's not going to do too much. I guess I'll just kill this Explorer just so I can do something. It also stops it from doing 6 damage there, so at least they'll only get 1 Blight. And then... it doesn't really matter. I guess I can stop this build Ravage, or build cycle, so I'll kill that guy, just to have fewer towns on the board, since they're going to get an extra one now. Okay. Now I go into the Ravage. They do 5 damage here because they remove that strife from the event. And fortunately, it's not going to do enough to do a double blight. It's just 1. Both those Dahan do die, unfortunately. And because they successfully ravaged, they're going to get a town to an adjacent land without towns or cities. I'll go ahead and just do that. I don't want them to build a city there. I choose the Ravage order, so I guess I'll do the Ravage here first, and then do it there. And then on this board, just this guy is going to die. And that's my Ravage. Almost stopped them all, but events are the bane of strife. So then I get the build in Sands. I get no builds. That's good. And then explore Coastal. It's not ideal, but can work with it. Okay. Alright, that's the invader phase, and then I go into the slow phase. So I've got Mantle of Dread. Target spirit may push 1 explorer, 1 town from one of their lands, and it's 2 fear. I'll do that from this land just to go ahead and stop that cycle, and I'll throw it up in there. That should be alright. Then I've got I think that was it. I think everything else was fast, so yeah, I'm good. Okay, so I discard. And I'm going to reclaim for both of these spirits, so I'll go ahead and just move straight over to my reclaim action. Getting a minor for shadows. Why is there a major in my minor pile? There's several majors in my minor pile. How did that happen? Alright, so minor for shadows. I've got a couple good ones right off the bat. I've got Veil the Night's Hunt, it's really good. Here There Be Monsters, Blood Draws Predators, and Poisoned Dew. I really like Veil the Night's Hunt, I think. That's going to be pretty nice for moving Dahan around. Here There Be Monsters, also good, but that's free, which is nice. But Veil the Night's Hunt is fast. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. It's got Moon and Air, which is good. Before I finish up Shadows, since I gained a card, let me go ahead and do Lightning. So I'm going to gain a minor with Lightning as well. It's going to be a pretty minor focused game, I think. I've got Drift Down into Slumber, Call of the Dahan Ways, pretty good against Sweden. Shadows of the Burning Forest. Even though it doesn't have, I mean, none of these have great elements for me. Shadows of the Burning Forest is the only one with fire. I can't make it fast, which is nice. But zero range is gonna make it less useful. So let's go Call of the Dahan Ways. Pretty nice against Sweden. Replace some of those Dahan that I lost. And yeah, let's see what I can do. So I'd like to stop this from ravaging because that's a lot of stuff happening in there. Unfortunately, that's the only one I have to worry about ravaging, so that's really my focus this turn. And the builds, I can deal with some of those, that's no problem. So to that end, let's see if I can use Pandemonium there and get some Dahan in so that I can kill everything in that land. I really can't use Raging Storm, it's too expensive. But with Shadows, I might be able to deal with that. So let's go with still Harbingers of the Lightning. The Lightning's Boon. I don't actually need Shatter Homesteads. I can save the money on that, although I kind of need to. I might just use it in the slow phase, and I'll use Call of the Dahan Ways as well, which will be good because I can make that fast. Alright, and then as far as Shadows goes, let's go with Veil the Night's Hunt. It's a pretty good one. Favors Called Due might be okay. So let's see, what am I going to do with this land? Probably use a second level Darkness Swallows the Unwary. And that will let me, that'll do some good stuff. Okay. So to get the second level of that, I need to play Crops Wither and Fade and Mantle of Dread, and I think that's alright. Mantle of Dread might not do much this turn, but that's okay. Depending on what the Explorer is, it'll be a good slow power. Okay. this one's a problem as well, but again, that's a future problem, not this turn problem. Alright, possibly be able to, well, no, I'll be able to deal with that, I think, as long as I don't ignore or remove Strife again. Okay, let's go into this. So, I think my turn's done. Let me pay for these powers. Shadows, you're down to 0 energy. No, that's alright. Why do I have 5 blade on my card? I added 1. I should be at 4. Cheating already. There we go. Okay, and then all my energy on lightning as well. No, it's okay. It'll be fine. So let's go ahead and play this out. So what I'm gonna do is, let's start with shadow stuff. So I'm gonna Veil the Night's Hunt and do 1 damage to a different invader. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so 1 damage to a different invader. I'll do that up here just to kill that. It stops a explore, build, ravage cycle. And then I've got my 2nd level of Darkness Swallows the Unwary. I don't want to do this, actually, because I do want to use Call of the Dahan Ways somewhere. I could use it in land 2. That'll be alright. Okay. Yeah. I think this will be good. So let's go ahead and use Darkness Swallows the Unwary. I have the 2nd level, because I have 3 moon and 2 fire. So I'm going to use that in this land here. I'll mark it. So I can gather 1 explorer, which I'll gather from there, and then destroy up to 2 explorers. And I'm also using Foreboding there. So I've got 2 air, 1 moon, and 2 fire. So after an action generates fear in target land, including from destroying towns and cities, I can push stuff. So I get one fear from just the fire. Then I'm going to destroy these 2 from Darkness Swallows the Unwary. That's 2 more fear, which gets me a fear card. And then I don't need to push out, do I? I will do 1. So I'll push this guy out into this land. Then I'm going to use Harbingers of the Lightning from Lightning Swift Strike to push 2 Dahan in there, which gets me a fear. And there's been a ton of fear generated in that land, but I'm also going to use Call of the Dahan Ways there as a fast power, replacing this explorer with a Dahan. And then I will use Pandemonium in this land. Just 1st level, 2 fear, add 1 strife. Lightning's Boon, I just use on Lightning Swift Strike. It's fine. I don't need extra fast powers with shadows, I don't think. No, probably not. It should be okay. Well, really, did I have to push anybody out of there? I did push 1 guy out, right? Yeah, I pushed 1 guy out with Stretch Out Coils of Foreboding Dread. That's interesting. Okay, so instead of pushing that guy out, because I only pushed 1 guy, there were 2 there originally, or there were 3 there originally, pulled 1 in, so then 4, destroyed 2, converted 1 to a Dahan, so that's it. So instead of using Stretch Out Coils of Foreboding Dread there, I'm going to use it on this land here. 2 range from here, so it's on land 2. And how many fast powers do I have left? Let's see. So far, I have 3 air on the lightning. I've used 1, 2, 3 of my slow powers fast. And I can save Shatter Homesteads. I don't need to use that as a fast power. So instead of using Lightning Spearment on the lightning, I'm going to go ahead and give Lightning Spearment over to Shadows. And what Shadows is going to do with that is target this land with Crops Wither and Fade. I ignore range targeting it because of Stretch Out Coils of Foreboding Doom. Dread. So that's going to be 2 fear. It's going to convert this into a town. And then because I generated 2 fear there, 3 actually, because I have the fire, I can go ahead and push out a town and an explorer, which I will do, and push them into this land. This is a very cool aspect. Yeah, so I generated 3 fear in that land, which lets me push a town and an explorer out. And I've also got Mantle of Dread, but I don't think I'm going to use that just yet. I'm going to wait on that. So that's that. That's fast powers. Lots of fast powers. Lots of things happening with these spirits. So I go into an event. Lesser Spirits Imperiled. The Invader spread is threatening many of the island's smaller spirits. You may tend to your own strength. Each spirit gains 1 energy. Discard 1 minor power per player from the deck. For each with Leaf, remove 1 blight from the blight card, returning it to the box. For each with Animal, destroy 1 Dahan in a town with blight. Or I can forge a Web of Mutual Support. The cost is 4 energy per player, aided by Leaf. I have no possible way to afford that, so that's not happening. It would be nice to get the permanent element for the rest of the game, but I have to tend to my own spirit's strengths. The extra energy is nice, so I will get that. And discard 1 minor power per player from the deck. So let's do board C first. It has Leaf, so I remove 1 blight from the blight card, returning it to the box. It did not have Animal. And then board E has Animal, so I destroy 1 animal with no plant. So fortunately that means I destroy 1 Dahan and I land with blight. Let's just do, well, depending on what the Explorer is, they could remove both of those anyway. Let's do that one. Okay. Cool. So, that's that. Then I go to a fear card, still Terra level 1. Overseas trade seems safer. Yeah, it does. Defend 3 in all coastal lands. Okay. And that's that. I go into a Ravage. So right here, they're doing 1 damage. It's defended 3, so no problem. And Dahan will fight back and kill all of those. I can pick up my markers. That's 2 more fear, which gets me a fear card for next turn. And if I can get 8 more fear, I can get to Terra level 2, which would be nice. That's that. Then I go to build in coastal. So I've emptied out almost every coastal land. I've just got that one left. And then I will explore mountains. Okay, guessed right. So they'll explore here, 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 and back in there. No escalation. Okay, that's that. Then I go into slow powers. Not really much to do. I do have Mantle of Dread. I'll use that on Shadows, so I can push this guy out. I'll push him in that jungle, and that is 2 fear. And then on Lightning Swift Strike, I have Shatter Homesteads, just so I don't have to worry about the Ravage at all next turn. This one's scary, but I'll figure something out with that. I will just Shatter Homesteads there, get 2 more fear, and that's that. So I'll go ahead and discard all these cards. go back to growth. So I'd like to put off a reclaim with shadows, but I don't have much energy. Fortunately, this turn should be pretty chill, so I can probably afford to just relax. But for lightning, I know I am going to reclaim again, so let me go ahead and do that. Gets me an energy and a minor. Not going into a major anytime soon with either of these spirits, at least for shadows, until I unlock three energy per turn. Okay. Well, Desiccating Winds is the only one with fire and sky, so that's probably going to be the play. Yeah, I like that. It's not bad. The 1 damage doesn't necessarily help too much yet, but once I get to the point that I can play Raging Storm, it could be pretty good. So I will do that. Or the Badlands, rather. So yeah, I'll take that. Get 2 energy. And then I go back to plays. And with shadows, meanwhile, I have to decide whether I want to add a presence and gain a power, so I can get 3, or whether I want to just stick with 2 card plays and get 3 energy, which will be a lot more versatile. Unfortunately, I don't have fire, so I'm not going to be able to gather any explorers this turn. So I might risk going for a 0-cost card and gain a power card and 1 energy. Let me gain a minor first. Hope I get something that costs 0 with fire. That's the goal here. And I already don't see a 0-cost fire. So I've got Elusive Ambushes, Spur on with Words of Fire, Reaching Grasp, and Twilight Fog brings Madness. Twilight Fog brings Madness is interesting, and it is 0 cost, so that might be the play. More Strife is probably good against Sweden. And I like the 0 cost, so even though I need a fire, I'm not going to be able to gather any explorers this turn. Fortunately, I don't really need to. Things are pretty well under control. So I think I can get away with that. So taking Twilight Fog brings Madness. Going from top, obviously, and I will go, let's get a Sacred Slate out over here. I finally unlock 1 energy per turn. Yay. And thankfully my cards only cost 1 energy. Not going to get much fear. That's okay. I can kind of ignore range and just gather up in different places, so that's alright. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's good. And then as far as lightning goes, let's go with Lightning's Boon. It'll be a pretty standard lightning turn. Shatter Homesteads. You kind of get into this loop with lightning where you do the same thing over and over again, but that's okay. Harbingers of the Lightning. And then I can go into Desiccating Winds, and this will unlock the ability to play 2 Strife this turn, which is probably good. So I will do that. Up there, yeah. Desiccating Winds. Again, costs all my energy, but that's okay. And will I be able to get those to Han in here by next turn? Probably not. I can get 1 in. Maybe I'll get an event that adds to Han. Although next turn I'll be able to use Call of the Dahan Ways as long as I get 1 Dahan in there. So that should be alright. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and go into powers. So for fast powers here, I've got a couple. With Lightning Swift Strike, I think I want to save Lightning Torn Skies and Sight Pandemonium for the slow phase, because then I'll be able to strife the city there. Although I can always do that next turn and just go for the go for other stuff. So let's do that. So I'll use Lightning Torn Skies and Sight Pandemonium. Add 2 strife in this land. That does 4 fear, which gets me Terra level 2 and another fear card. That's pretty good. With Harbingers of the Lightning, what do I want to do with that? They've already done their stage 2. I'd like to move this guy in here. It won't get me a fear, but it'll stop that build. So, yeah, so that'll be my second slow power. Slow power as fast. I get 4 for free. Shatter Homesteads I can just wait on. It's totally fine. So let's give Lightning's Boon over to Shadows here. And with that, Shadows is going to use Favors Called Due on this land. And I'll use Stretch Out Coils of Foreboding Dread there as well. So I will gather 3, which gets me 3 fear. I'll also use Concealing Shadows there, which is another fear. So that's 4 fear away from another fear card. Going through these fast. And I do have another free... no, let me save Twilight Fogsburn's Madness for the slow phase. I've got an idea for that. So that's good. And I have 1 more fast power with Lightning just from all of its air. So I could use Desiccated Winds or Shatter Homesteads. Do I want to, though? Yeah, I think I do. So I can save it for the slow phase. You know, I have it fast. I may as well. I'll go ahead and add Badlands into this mountains. Okay. And that's that. Saving Shatter Homesteads for the slow phase. So let me just tap the ones that I've used, just so I know. Tap those. And then go into an event. In stage 2, so no bravery without numbers. Invaders do not ravage in lands unless there are more invaders than the current terror level, which is 2. So that's not great, because that means they're not going to ravage in those lands, but maybe I'll get something that will do damage there. Prey on the Heedless in each land with beasts, 1 damage per beast. That. And then leave the hostile land. In each land, push 1 to Han per Badlands or Disease to lands without Badlands or Disease. Doesn't matter. So, another event that hurts me, but I do have 2 fear cards coming up. Retreat. Each player may push up to 2 explorers from an inland land. I don't really want to do that. So that's going to be a candidate for Raging Storm. I mean, I guess I can just kind of stack stuff up there, though. So I'll push that guy in there. And, oh wait, I'm at level 2. So each player may push 3 explorers and 3 explorers or town from an inland land. Okay, that's better. Yeah. Because when I use Raging Storm, that'll be okay there. Alright. I don't really need to do it anywhere else. I guess I can clear out that corner. There we go. And then Dahan Threaten. Each player adds 1 strife to a land with Dahan. For the rest of this turn, invaders have -1 health per Dahan, -1 health per strife to a minimum of 1. Let's go in there. And hoping for something that would have killed those guys, because unfortunately they're not going to ravage there, which means they're going to build there. That happens sometimes. Okay. So that's that. Now we go to the ravage. No ravages happen. Well, except this one. But actually, no ravages happen. There's no land where they have more than 2 guys in a land. Build in mountains. So they'll build a city in here. And then unfortunately, they do get towns. Can deal with those next turn. And then explore into sands. That's alright. Eventually, some of these events are going to help me out. So far, they're kind of a big nothing burger. Okay, no escalation from that, so that's good. Then I go to slow powers. I'm going to use Twilight Fog Brings Madness into this land, add a strife under this city. Hopefully I don't get another event that ignores strife. That would be bad. And then I also have Shatter Homesteads, which I kind of have to use on the coast now. So I'll use that there. That gets 2 fear. Discard. And the interesting thing here for lightning is I kind of want to break my reclaim cycle a little bit early. I'm going to go ahead and add a presence and gain 3 energy. Do that from here. That way I'll be able to do a Raging Storm and do a lot of stuff in here. So it's not the best turn for lightning. There are more things that I'd like to do, but I think it's okay. So I'll add that 1 presence. Let's go out towards this mountain. Nice and colorful. I like the yellow and purple contrast, and I realized I should be discarding with shadows. Shadows is in a reclaim cycle, and it's going to get another minor. Probably the last minor I get with shadows. I got Steam Vents. That's got air and fire. Domesticated animals go berserk. It's pretty good. That is moon and fire. Does cost 1 energy. Just can't get free things. That's alright though. Call to Isolation is pretty good, as is Gift of Constancy. But I probably want to play for elements here. So let's go for Domestic Animals Go Berserk. Am I going to have enough free cards to do this? Yeah, it should be fine. Yeah, it's good. Okay, so taking Domestic Animals Go Berserk. Getting my 1 energy. And with Lightning, I get 3, 4, 5 energy. Okay, I've got just 2 cards with Lightning, so those are the 2 cards that I'm playing. Not going to hit my innate, but that's okay. And I can still make Raging Storm fast, so it's all good. And I forgot to build in that mountain, so that guy's there. Oh no, sorry, I did build. I destroyed it with Shatter Homesteads. Knew there was a reason. Okay, so that's that. Let's see what I want to do with shadows. I've got a lot of cards now. I think I want to do Domestic Animals Go Berserk, so I can defend this land. And it's got Moon and Fire, which is pretty good. That's going to be 1 energy, so I have 1 left. And if I can get another one with Fire, I'll be able to hit the 2nd level with my innate. So let's go with Mantle of Dread. And do I just do Twilight Fog Brings Madness? Probably. Yeah, I think that's okay. And that's pretty good. Gets me 2 air. Cool. Yeah, that works. Alright, costs all my energy, but that's alright. I'm not going to be in a reclaim cycle next turn, so I'll be able to go up to 3 energy per turn finally. Once you hit that 3/3 with shadows, you actually become good. It just takes ages to get there. And Foreboding seems to kind of make the early game a lot better to actually get to that point. So let's go ahead and play this out. I'm going to use Raging Storm right here. It does 1 damage to each invader, plus an extra 1, which is going on to that town. And I'll mark it just in case something comes up, that each of these has taken 1 damage. And weirdly, that's the only fast power I get with lightning this turn. With shadows, I'm going to use Stretch Out Coils of Foreboding Dread onto this land. I'll mark that. Let's see, I have 3 moon, 2 air, and 2 fire. So what I can do, I can stop a couple things from happening, actually. So I'm going to use Domestic Animals Go Berserk right here, which is Defend 5. So let me also put a Defend marker there. And a Fear, so that gets me another Fear card. And adds a Beast, because I had 3 moon, so that's cool. That's a fast power. I've got the 2nd level of Darkness Swallows the Unwary, so let's go ahead and use that to pull this guy into here, and then I will destroy up to 2 of those guys, which is 2 Fear. And then also Stretch Out Coils of Foreboding Dread. I have the ability to get 4 Fear. I'm not actually going to push anything out of there. I want it to die from the Ravage. It's defended 5, so it's good. But because I have 2 Fire, I do get an extra Fear from that. I could push everything out, but I don't want to. So that's 3 Fear, which is good. And that's that turn. So then I go to an event. Invested Aristocracy. After the Ravage step, on each board, if no blight was added to this board, add 1 town to the highest numbered land with no invaders. So that's going to happen. That's okay. Prey on the Heedless. So I'll kind of put a marker so I remember to do that. Prey on the Heedless. In each board with beasts, 1 damage per beast. Cool. That is good. And then on Coming of Age, on each board, add 1 Dahan to a land with 2 or more Dahan. Nice. Okay, Fear card. Tall Tales of Savagery. In each land, each player removes 2 or more explorers, 2 explorers or 1 town from land with Dahan. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. I'll remove that guy up there. And kind of want him to destroy that, so I'll just do this guy. Get rid of him. Okay. That's fine. So now I go into a Ravage. There's only 1 mountain. Well, there's a couple mountains with invaders. This one's defended 5, so even though they do 3 damage, nothing's going to die. And I get a Fear from destroying that town. Right here, they're all just going to lose their Strife. Strife, very good against Sweden. And that's that. Build in Sands, that's the one. So I'll get that up there, and a city there. Don't worry, that will be dealt with. And then finally got into wetlands. So I kind of cleared some out. So they're going to get 1 explorer there, 1 there, 1 there, and 1 there. Not yet. And no escalation still. So I'm going to be in stage 3 next, so I kind of want to push this up to terror level 3 and start getting those nice terror level 3 cards. We do have a couple of slow powers. I'm going to use Twilight Fog Brings Madness to put a strife under the city. And then I've got Mantle of Dread. I've got a couple places where I can push out stuff, and I'm not sure the best place to do it. I've also got Call of the Dahanways, which is nice. I'll just use Call of the Dahanways up here. Easy choice. And I think I can deal with this town in the fast phase next turn, so I'd rather stop the city build, and I'll push these guys into this jungle and generate 2 fear. That's with Mantle of Dread. Okay, now that's it for slow powers, so I go ahead and discard. Do a quick time check, see if anybody's trying to reach me. Nope, I am good. Alright, this game's going pretty fast, I think, considering I'm playing 2 aspects I haven't played before. Not that they're particularly hard, so it's going okay. So let's see, I'm back to a reclaim with lightning. Don't need to reclaim yet with shadows. So with lightning, let's see what I want to do. Reclaiming, which gets me 1 energy, and a power card. I'm up to 5 card plays, so let's just keep getting minors. Fishing for those zeros with fire and air, and I got one. I stole it. Hazard spread across the island. It's a very, very good one. I don't even need to look at these others. That's the choice. Although, Call to Tend is pretty good, but no, it's going to be Hazard spread. And I even have some moon, but say the 3rd level of that's going to be pretty nice. So, yeah, let's do that. It's going to be hard to hit the 3rd level of this, but I'll try it. So Hazard spread across the island, easy decision, free card, has good elements, and a good effect. So let's stick with that. I'll heal up these invaders that I forgot to heal last time. And figure out what I'm going to do. So, what are they doing? Ravaging Sands, so I can play Shatter Homesteads just to deal with that. I'll have 2 energy. I haven't decided on my growth yet for shadows, so, but I don't think it matters. I'm pretty much playing the same cards that I always do with lightning. Hazard spread, which I just got. Pull those down. Lightning's boon. And I could save these for next turn, just so I have, so I don't have to reclaim. That might be alright. Go up to 6 card plays, that'll make it easier to hit the 3rd level of my innate. Yeah, that might be okay. It'll save me an energy. Yeah, that's fine. I don't need to do Call of the Dahanways yet. So let's stick with these. Alright, now for shadows. Do I want the energy or do I want the card? I think I want the energy. That way I'll be able to get a major during the next reclaim. Potentially. I can go up to 3 energy per turn. I can take my markers back as well. Yeah, that'll be fine. Cool. Yeah, so I'll be able to play a couple of these. And this will be really good. Where do I want to go? Do I need another sacred site somewhere? I don't think I do. stop that. So yeah, let's go in here. Okay, cool. I'll go ahead and play Crops Wither and Fade. Concealing Shadows. And Favors Called Due. Ah, shoot, that won't get me... Well, it's okay. I'll have the Gather one, so that's okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. Alright, I think I'm good to go. I get 3 more energy as well. So, finally online is Shadows. Although I felt online pretty much the whole game. This is not a bad matchup for Shadows whatsoever, and Foreboding, I really like it so far. It's a cool aspect. So let's go ahead and go into fast powers. I'm going to use Lightning's Boon from Lightning onto Shadows. That way, Shadows can go ahead and use Stretch Out Coils of Foreboding Dread onto this land here, which I will mark. And then it's going to go ahead and drag in for Dahan, which does 3 fear. Gets me another fear card. With 3 fear, I can go ahead and push the town out. I'll keep the Explorer there, because he shouldn't matter. Although, you know, it's potential that they'll have something that does an extra damage. I don't want to really lose anybody, so I'll push that guy out too. Then I will use Darkness Swallows the Unwary to pull this guy into here. And I could use Crops Wither and Fade, but no, I don't want to yet. I'll use it in the slow phase. So with Lightning, I already used Lightning's Boon. I don't need to use Pandemonium. Yeah, I do. Well, I need to use Shatter Homesteads or Pandemonium. So I'll use Shatter Homesteads here. And that's 2 fear. Let me actually mark these just because fast things are fast. I also use Concealing Shadows up there, so that's an extra fear. So I've used that, use those, use that. Lightning Spoon I've used, so I've got Harbingers of Lightning and Hazard Spread across the island. With Hazard Spread, I will go ahead and use another Badlands, and I'll just throw it in that land. Oh, it has to be adjacent. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I'll spread in there. Or Beast. Yeah, well, that's okay. Badlands is good. So that's that. Then, do I want to use Harbingers of the Lightning now? I think I want to save Lightning Torn Skies for the slow phase. Although it'll get me a fear card now, so maybe it's worth it. Yeah, I'll get the fear card now. I'll put them under here. That's 4 fear, 2nd level. Lightning Torn Skies. And I'll save Harbingers of the Lightning for the slow phase, I think. Yeah, it's fine. I'll save that for the slow phase. So now I go to an event. My event is Dahan Trade with the Invaders. What are you doing, Dahan? They're liars. Some seek knowledge, others are interested in tools and trade goods. Some simply curious. All hope to avoid violence, and the invaders seem amenable, at least for now. You may ignore their interest. Dahan, do not participate in ravages this turn, or display your wrath at this betrayal. Cost is 2 energy per player, aided by fire. Each spirit with Dahan in their lands destroys one of them and generates 1 fear. I don't think I have Dahan in any of my lands, so that might be okay. and then change and help them learn from the enemy. Cost is 6 energy per player aided by air. Dahan do not participate in Ravages this turn. Each spirit forgets a power card. For the next turn on, each Dahan provides defend 1 in its land. That's interesting. I've never actually used that option. I've only seen this card maybe once. But I do want them to Ravage because I want that city to get destroyed. It's a conundrum. That's the only one that's going to happen. How much fire do I have? 4, 5. So really the cost is... It's 2 energy per player. That's pretty cheap. I already have that. So yeah, let's display my wrath at this betrayal. It's free for me because I have 5 fire. Each spirit with Dahan in their lands destroys 1 of them and generates 1 fear. I don't have Dahan in any of my lands somehow. I've shuffled them around to other places. So for that end, I get no fear and nothing happens. But Ravage still goes through. And then Outbreak Shift on each board, push 1 disease, no diseases, so that doesn't matter. Fear cards. Isolation. Each player removes 1 explorer or town from a land with 2 or fewer invaders. I like that. So let's go ahead. They're building wetlands. That's fine. I'll remove this town. And that explorer. Skip the next normal build. Build card remains in place instead of shifting left. I really don't want that. I'd rather have them build, but that's okay. It gives me a turn to get to Terra level 3. Alright. Ravage. They do 0 damage here. Dahan fight back. Kill that city. That's 2 fear. That's the only Ravage. Well, 1 damage here. Skipping the next normal build, so that doesn't shift, which I kind of wish it did. Oh, that's okay. I was hoping I didn't get wetlands, and I didn't, so that's alright. So they're going to go jungles and wetlands. Jungles and sands. So that's fine. I get a turn without a Ravage. Good. Okay. Then I go into slow powers. So I've got Crops, Wither, and Fade still. I guess I'll still do that here. No, I kind of wanted to do it there, but let's see. They're gonna build a city there. I'll do it here. 2 fear. And Harbingers of the Lightning. I'll push 2 of these guys into here, which gets me 1 fear. I've already used Pandemonium, that's it. So I discard. Let's see. I'm back to a Reclaimed Shadows, and I'm gonna have 7 energy this turn, so I think I'm gonna go for a major. Let's see what I get. I got Instruments of Their Own Ruin. That's always a fun one. The Jungle Hungers is pretty good, especially here. Sweep into the Sea, and Power Storm. I think I like the Jungle Hungers, actually. Not going to be able to hit the kicker, but that's alright. So let's go the Jungle Hungers. Yeah, I'll put those with the miners. And I'll just go ahead and forget. I've got some good ones. I can probably forget. No, I want to keep Veil the Night's Hunt. Let's forget Twilight Fog brings madness. It was good for me, but don't need it anymore. 3 more energy. 3 card plays. I'm going to do Jungle Hungers. Won't have the kicker, but I'm going to kill everything in here in the fast phase, so that's okay. Thanks to Lightning. I'll do Veil the Knight's Hunt. Stops another build. I'll do only 3 card plays. Okay. So I need some fire. Let's go with Mantle of Dread. Okay, Shadows is good. And Lightning. Lightning is going to reclaim. I'm going to get, or actually, sorry, I'm not going to reclaim. No. I reclaimed last turn. Sorry, what do I have left? I have Desiccated Winds, Call of the Hanways, and Raging Storm. I have 3 cards left, so I'm going to not reclaim. I'm going to go for that 6th card play, which is going to help me hit even more levels of Pandemonium. And since I don't have to worry about a Ravage this turn, I can kind of get away with this. I won't have my innate, that's fine though. So let's go. Got another Sacred Site over there. And I'll play my 3 cards, Desiccating Winds, Call of the Hanways, and Raging Storm. Eventually I'll remember to put those so you guys can see it. Alright, pay for those cards. Oh shit, I'm not getting fast powers this turn because of this. Do I want to just reclaim then? Because I want fast powers for Shadows. Yeah, let's just reclaim. I'm taking this back. Redo. Get those 3 energy back there. So instead of growth 3, I'm going growth 1. Take that presence off the board. Get a power card. I already gave the energy. Okay. And I've got nothing fantastic, actually nothing with Moon, which is weird. So the only thing with Fire I have is Gold's Allure, which is pretty good. I do have Teeming Rivers, could start cleaning up some of this blight. Call to Guard. Yeah, let's go Teeming Rivers. All the blight is in sands and mountain, or wetlands and mountains, so that's all right. Okay, so that's that. And the reason that I reclaimed is that I need to give Shadows a fast card, so definitely playing Lightning's Boon. Harbingers of the Lightning. Let's see, I have 5 card plays. Hazard spread across the island. And it's possible I'll be able to win right here. There are only 2 cities left. I think I can destroy them both in the fast phase. If I get Crops Wither and Fade rather than Mantle of Dread, I'm gonna be okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll go for the fast phase win then. So I need Desiccating Winds, and I may as well clean up some blight. So Okay. So let's get right into it. Pay for all these powers. Got a bunch. Lightning's Boon, going from lightning to shadows. With that, shadows has a bunch of stuff that it's going to do. First up, I will do the Jungle Hungers using a fast power. Destroy all of these, which is 3 fear, and pushes me to Terror level 3. Then I will go ahead and use Crops Wither and Fade on this city, turning it into a town. I can use Veil the Night's Hunt up here, just kill that guy. And then Foreboding and Darkness Swallows the Unwary. Let's see. I'll just do Darkness Swallows the Unwary and target this land and pull this guy over here, just so it makes it look a little bit better. Doesn't matter where I use Foreboding. I'm going to use Hazard spread across the island as a fast power. Go ahead and add another Badlands in there. I'll use Teeming Rivers as a fast power. How many fast powers do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4. Just to remove a blight. Adds to score. So, yeah, actually, rather than Harbingers of the Lightning, I'll just play Call of the Dawn Ways. Because I can. So now I have 3 slow powers that I can make fast, and that's all I need. So I'll use Call of the Dawn Ways also as a fast power, just to convert one of these to a Dawn. I'll do it up here. You gotta max out your score at the end of the game. And then finally I'll use Desiccating Winds on this land. If the target land has Badlands, 1 damage. So I do 1 damage, +1, +2. Kill that city. That's another Badlands. And I'm in Terror level 3, and there are no cities on the board. So that is a Terror level 3 victory over level 6 Sweden. So hopefully you enjoyed that. It's my first level 6 win on this channel. Not the first level 6 win against Sweden I've had, period, although I think it is the first level 6 win I've had with these 2 spirits. So using these aspects, I was able to get a couple new things going. I really like these. I like Pandemonium doesn't feel like it plays too different from Lightning Swift Strike. I just kind of stuck with a reclaim loop, and that's how you play it, so that worked out pretty well. Really strong against Sweden, though, adding those Strife tokens. The only Ravage that happened this game was because they removed one of my Strife tokens, otherwise they stopped every single Ravage, which is pretty good. It's just a strong combination of spirits. Foreboding kind of fixes Shadow's issues, at least in the early game. It seems really, really good. What let me deal with that Ravage in the Mountain 7 right from the beginning of the game. So yeah, super happy with this game. This was a fun one. Hopefully you enjoyed watching it. But let me go ahead and tally up my score here and see how I did. I think it's going to be pretty solid. Not a lot of blight left on the board. That was probably about an hour and a half. I'll have to check the tape, but that's my guess. Okay, so this was Lightning Swift Strike on board E, using Pandemonium. And like I said, I played Wind Lightning a couple days ago with some friends. We did a 4-player game. And Wind Lightning in a 4-player game when you can support your teammates is awesome. I think Pandemonium I might like even more than Wind, just because of the extra fear here. So that was pretty strong. As far as Shadows goes, I have played Reach and Madness. And I think that's it. I can't remember. There are 4 for Shadows. I don't remember what the last one is offhand. But this is my first time playing Foreboding. I really like it. It makes shadows a lot more interesting. You can do a lot more with them. Amorphous is the last one. Yeah, I don't think I've played with Amorphous. But this foreboding aspect, just getting this ability here, there's a lot more that you can do. It seems pretty interesting. This game wasn't too challenging. Sweden 6, some people say it should be harder than difficulty 8 from what I've heard. I think it depends a lot on your spirits. This combination of spirits was pretty strong against it. So 1, 2, 3, 4 blight on the island. So that's what I started with, which is okay. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 to Han left, which is okay against Sweden. I would have had more, but I ignored one of my strife tokens, so I couldn't save them all. Cards left. Let's see. I was just getting into Terror level 3, so I have 4 left, or stage 3 rather. So this was a 63-point game, pretty good for difficulty 8. I'll have to go back and look, but I think among difficulty 8 games, that's probably one of the higher scoring ones that I've had. So that's pretty solid. I'm happy with that. And let's see, I like to keep track of the number of territories that were occupied as well. Not a lot left. I pretty much cleaned this island up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I do think that the invader card draws were pretty favorable to me, but that was balanced out by unfavorable events for the most part. I didn't really get anything beneficial out of any of the events, and a couple of them were bad. So that kind of balanced out, but the invader stage card was definitely fortuitous for me. Not bad at all. 17 health worth of invaders left, not too bad. Alright. So this was a 63-point game. Nice, relatively straightforward, easy win against Sweden 6 using Pandemonium Lightning and Foreboding Shadows. Really strong aspects. These make Shadows especially a much more interesting spirit. I like Shadows as a concept, but that early game is just so frustrating sometimes, and getting an ability like this helps it out immensely. Pandemonium was fine. I kind of expected to like it more than I did, but it was really strong against Sweden, so for that end, it was fun. So if you enjoyed this, thank you very much for watching. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. I think I'll go with Earth and River aspects next, since there are a couple of those that I haven't touched, and I'll keep rolling with these two-handed games. But, thanks for watching, and have a great day, everyone.